Welcome back everyone to another exciting and mind-blowing video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins that could be hiding right inside your pocket change. Today we are talking about something truly incredible, something that has shocked coin collectors all over the world, the Liberty 1 cent 1995 United States coin that has become one of the most talked about pennies in modern numismatic history, and you'll be amazed when you hear how this ordinary looking coin that once had a face value of just 1 cent is now worth an astonishing $92 million in the coin market because of its rarity, unique minting errors, and amazing condition. This story will leave you completely stunned, so sit back, relax, and imagine this for a moment. You're going through an old jar of coins, maybe something that's been sitting in a drawer for years, and among the dull copper and brown cents your eyes fall on a 1995 Lincoln penny. You might think it's just another regular coin from the Denver Mint, but wait, that tiny D mark below the year could actually be hiding a fortune, because not all 1995 D pennies are the same. There are a few special ones that turned out to be priceless treasures in the world of coin collectors, and their stories are filled with mystery, errors, and fascinating details that make them worth millions. To understand why the 1995 D Liberty 1 cent coin became so valuable, we need to take a step back in time to know its background and how it came to be. The year 1995 was a memorable one for the U.S. Mint. It was a period of transition. Technology was improving, designs were being refined, and the minting process was being modernized, but with that came small but powerful mistakes during minting, and these tiny errors became the reason behind the birth of some of the most expensive coins known today. The Denver Mint, identified by the D mark, produced hundreds of millions of these pennies, but among them a handful came out with unusual features that no one noticed at first. These rare coins turned into something beyond imagination. The obverse of the 1995 D penny shows the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, the design that has appeared on the U.S. 1 cent coin since 1909. Lincoln's detailed profile faces right, with the word Liberty on the left side of his image and the mint year 1995 along with the D Mint mark on the right. Under the date above his head appears the national motto, "In God We Trust." And on the reverse side we see the famous Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo with the inscriptions "United States of America 1 cent" and "E Pluribus Unum." The design looks simple and familiar, yet some coins from that year possess strange features that changed their destiny forever. Now here's where things get really fascinating. The 1995 D Liberty penny that collectors talk about today has several possible variations that make it extremely rare. First, there is the double die obverse error, one of the most famous and valuable types of minting mistakes. When a coin is struck twice or slightly misaligned during production, this causes the inscriptions or images to appear doubled on the coin, and in some 1995 D pennies the doubling can be seen clearly on the words Liberty or In God We Trust, and sometimes on Lincoln's eye or face. The effect is subtle, but under magnification it becomes very visible, and coin experts go wild when they find one, because these doubling errors happen by accident and are never intended to be released to the public. Another major reason some 1995 D Liberty pennies are worth so much money lies in their condition and the material variations. A few coins from this year were accidentally struck on bronze planchets instead of the usual copper-plated zinc composition, which had been the standard since 1982. That means a few coins were created on the wrong metal planchet, resulting in heavier coins with a slightly different color and tone compared to the standard one. Such off-metal strikes are extremely rare, and when discovered they become instant treasures at auction, some even weighing 3.1 grams instead of the usual 2.5 grams, giving experts the clue that something unusual happened at the mint. In the numismatic world, condition matters just as much as rarity. Collectors use the term mint state to describe coins that have never been used in circulation and are preserved exactly as they left the mint. The 1995 D penny in pristine mint state 70 condition with a full red finish can command astonishing prices because of its rarity and perfect preservation, and that's where the record-breaking examples come in. One particular 1995 D Liberty penny with a dramatic doubling and flawless surface was auctioned for an unbelievable $92 million, making it one of the highest valued Lincoln cents ever recorded. This jaw-dropping price wasn't just because of the coin's rarity but also its historical significance and perfection. You might wonder how such a small coin can command such an enormous price. The truth lies in the passion of collectors and the rarity of perfection. Coins with significant mint errors, especially those combined with a high mint state grade, are nearly impossible to find. Imagine millions of coins produced and only a few surviving in perfect form with visible doubling and no scratches. That's what makes collectors bid aggressively to own such a masterpiece. To them, these coins are not just currency, they are pieces of history, a symbol of American craftsmanship and human error that accidentally created a priceless treasure. Another factor contributing to its legendary value is the mystery of its survival during the minting process. Every coin is checked in batches and defective pieces are supposed to be melted down, yet somehow a few 1995 double die pennies escaped detection and entered circulation. Some experts believe that only a handful exist today, and each time one surfaces in pristine condition it becomes the subject of worldwide headlines and excitement in the coin collecting community. Many collectors and historians have pointed out that the 1995 penny marks an important transition in American coin design. It was one of the last years before digital engraving became more dominant in coin production, meaning traditional hand engraving and manual hubbing techniques were still being used. That's why doubling, errors and other imperfections were still possible in those days, giving us these rare treasures today. The combination of old minting techniques and modern technology led to a unique mixture of craftsmanship and unpredictability. In addition to the double die error, there are other types of mistakes found on the 1995 Liberty penny, such as off-center strikes where the design is not properly aligned and part of the coin's image is missing. There are also broad-struck coins that expand beyond their normal size and clipped planchets where a small portion of the coin's edge is missing. Each of these errors adds to the uniqueness and increases its collector value. Some error coins from this year have fetched tens of thousands of dollars even in circulated condition, but the top-graded pieces, especially those with red luster and visible doubling, have reached astronomical figures. Today the coin collecting market is stronger than ever, with rare Lincoln cents leading the way as highly sought-after items. Collectors from around the globe are constantly searching for these elusive 1995 pennies, hoping to find one in their own pocket change or old coin jars. The excitement of finding a coin worth millions keeps the passion alive and adds a sense of adventure to this hobby. What makes it even more interesting is that anyone can find one. These coins were released into circulation, meaning that even now, decades later, it's still possible that a fortune could be lying unnoticed in your loose change. The historical legacy of the Lincoln penny also adds emotional value. The Lincoln cent is the longest-running coin design in United States history, representing more than a century of American heritage and leadership. The 1995 penny stands as a reminder of that legacy, linking modern collectors to the early 20th century when Victor David Brenner first created Lincoln's portrait to honor America's most beloved president. Every small detail on this coin tells a story of pride, resilience, and the American dream, turning a single cent into a multi-million-dollar marvel coin. Experts often say that the 1995 Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of how error coins can transform ordinary currency into historical art. A piece of metal that was meant for everyday trade becomes a priceless collectible because of a tiny imperfection, and that's what makes coin collecting so magical. It's a blend of history, science, art, and luck combined together to create something that captures the imagination of millions across the world. So next time you come across a 1995 penny, take a moment to look closely. Check for that little D mint mark under the year and examine the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" with a magnifying glass. You might spot that slight doubling or unusual shine that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, and who knows, that little coin you've ignored for years might just be the next $92 million treasure waiting to change your life forever. The story of the 1995 Liberty 1 cent coin is not just about money, it's about discovery, passion, and the thrill of uncovering a piece of American